Good morning and good luck. And welcome back to Good Luck with Gino. I'm your host, Gino the Ghost, and we're here for episode 23. Welcome back. Hope you had a good week. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you know what to do, right? You're going to leave me a fucking 5-star review. You're going to smash that subscribe button. You're going to send it to your friends and family, and you're going to tell them how much you love the show. That is objective number one. If you're on YouTube, which you should be, because then you get to look at my glorious face and my drip. As you can see, we've got the Cartier Woods on today. Now, these are some very rare Cartiers I got from Spencer Shapiro, a good friend of mine, board-certified cardiologist, a purveyor of fine vintage Cartier frames. You guys know that I am the Cartier connoisseur. These glasses were actually discontinued many years ago, which makes them even more lucrative and sexy. So if you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below. And now we can get on with the show, now that I've got all my little quips in. Welcome back, guys. I've been kind of fighting a bit of a sickness all week. So I've been, I'm healthy now. My voice sounds a little bit less silky, as you can hear, though, because I'm in the final stages of combatment here. I don't know if that's a word. Last episode was a smashing success. People loved the songwriting breakdown that I did. Obviously, being a songwriter and a producer, I don't want to have this whole show just be about music and the songwriting process, because I thought people didn't want a lot of that. I don't know. A lot of the show is I'm getting going here is just figuring out what the people want. I'm always going to talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about in the show, but it's good to see how people react and give you more of that content, I guess. And so I did the Max Martin series, and people were loving it, dude. The views were cranking in, dude. We had about 3 viral clips, and that's all we do it for, right? We do it for the views. But people, they appreciated the insight and the knowledge, I guess, if you want to call it that. And so we're going to do more shit like that. Not this episode, really. Maybe a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, I had a lot of people asking about the artist that I was talking about in my story when I was talking about the artist who, fumbled the hit record and everybody wanted the tea. My DMs were flooded with people who was the artist? And I'm just not going to tell you. Look, I'm a messy bitch, and my pettiness knows no bounds, but I am a professional, right? So I'm not going to tell you who it is about unless you know me personally and you ask me, and then in which case I'll do it on the phone maybe. I'm not going to put it in writing, but yeah. What else is going on? Football's back. Now, again, this isn't going to be a sports podcast, but I'm a diehard Lions fan, for those who don't know me. And we're going to have a little bit of Lions propaganda leaking into the show as the season kicks off. Fortunately for you, hasn't started yet, but we're getting ready. And Daddy's about to talk his shit. You understand? Because the Lions, for the first time in my life, are going to be good. And I'm not going to let you motherfuckers live it down. So there's that on that. I got a... This is a fun story. I got a call yesterday from a number that I didn't recognize, but it was like an American number, and I got a call from it. I sent it to voicemail. I got another call from that number immediately after. So then I'm like, oh, is this maybe not like a telemarketer? Maybe this is a real person. So I went to send a message, and it went to iMessage. So I'm like, okay, this is a real person. So they called me back a third time, and I answered. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And it's, hi, is this Gino? To which I said, who's asking? And he said, hi, this is David with Coinbase support. We just want to verify a transaction or an address change. We had a login from Germany. We just need you to confirm your account for us. So I know this is a scammer. I know this within the first 5. As soon as I hear, hi, this is so-and-so from Coinbase support, scammer. If you don't know what Coinbase is the centralized exchange for crypto. I'm a big crypto guy, you know. So I go, hey, David, thanks for calling so much from Coinbase. Yeah, you know, I have my life savings in Coinbase, so this means the world to me that you're calling to help me secure my account. In fact, could I just give you my seed phrase and my password so you can just drain my account and make this go faster, make your life easier? And he laughs. And then I just go on to have this super normal conversation with the scammer. It was hilarious, where we just talked so candidly about him scamming. I'm like, hey, like, how did you get my number? You know? And he's like, hey, man, you need to probably change your number because your number leaked in a database, and that's how we get your number, you know? So the only way to circumvent this is to change your number. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. And then I'm like, okay, well, like, how many people have you successfully scammed? Like, have you even successfully scammed anybody today? Like, are you even good at this? Like, are you even good at your job? And he's like, I'm not going to talk about that. All right, I got to go. And I'm like, no, don't leave yet. I got some more questions. You know, I gotta know more about your lifestyle. And then I kind of belittled him a little bit. I'm like, yeah, like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I knew you were scamming me in the first, like, 3 seconds. Like, you need to really work on your craft. You need to hone your scammer skills because this is Bush League. You know, this is some elementary shit, you know? To which he didn't like that. But he stayed on the phone with me. Like, I think he was a masochist and enjoyed it because I was just giving it to him, you know? I was like, man, you need to, like, go do anything else with your life. Like, not only are you just trying to ruin people's lives, but you're not very good at it. And, like, how much money are you? I'm like, you could probably just go work at fucking Chick-fil-A and make the amount of money that you're making being a huge dirtbag, you know? And yeah. And then he blocked my number. He hung up and blocked my number. But, you know, it's important that when scammers try to scam you, you don't let them off the hook. You can't just hang up the phone on them. You gotta really give it to them. And just let them know that they're a piece of shit and just break down how trash they are in life. Because you want to leave a lasting impression on them. So, okay, so last thing before we get into our main story. So Donald Trump is back. He's completely unhinged, per usual, a little more unhinged than usual, and he's unstoppable. This guy is putting out absolute content gold. And I got to tell you, he's just going to win again. Listen to these videos that this motherfucker is dropping. I think he's dropping them on Truth Social, even though he got his Twitter back. But dude, listen to these videos from Donald Trump. They are insane.
Look at Joe Biden's only campaign strategy is indicting me. That's all they can do. Keep indicting him on nonsense. Going on extended vacations and sleep. That's what he wants to do. He wants to sleep and he wants to go to the beach and sleep. He thinks he looks good in a bathing suit. He doesn't.
Dude, like, indicting me. Dude. It's hilarious that this guy, Donald Trump, can literally somehow throw his 100-count indictment into the spin zone and make it like a positive thing. You know what I mean? And to make fun of Joe Biden's physique in a bathing suit, my boy, have you seen yourself in a bathing suit? You know, dude is shaped like a tortoise. But it's super funny. And he's just, and these are like campaign videos. Like at the end of the video, Trump 2024 flashes. Like here's another one. Dude, this is incredible.
Biden is totally controlled by China, Ukraine, and various other countries. They know everything about him, all of his misdeeds, and there are many. He's a corrupt person. He's a compromised president who is leading our country to hell. In the true sense, and I don't know if you know what this means, he is a Manchurian candidate. Trust me on that.
Bro is just talking. Like, he just like, they just hit record on the camera, and then he just talked for 15 minutes, and they just chopped it up into different campaign videos. You know what I mean? All right, here's the last one. This is a fucking absolute nugget. This is gold right here.
Poll numbers are up since the very boring, record-setting low, the ratings, that is, there were low ratings, debate that
He's right.
everybody wanted me to do, and now they said it was brilliant that you didn't do it. Leading by big numbers, we are leading by numbers like nobody's led before. I made the right decision, and we broke all records with the Tucker Carlson interview.
God damn it, he's right.
261 million people watching, whereas the debate only had 11 million people. That was a record low. So we had a record high and a record low.
He's right.
And it was a lot of fun, and congratulations to Tucker Carlson. Great job.
Great job. Trump 2024. God damn it, he's right. He's gonna win, dude. Oh my God, he's gonna win. And not only is he gonna win, he's gonna fucking smoke everybody's shit. It's not even gonna be close. I talked about it last episode. The Republican primary was like such a fucking joke. And it was such a chess move to just not even pull up. To just be like, nah, y'all aren't really like, your guys are kind of little league, you know? Like Jordan doesn't show up and play in the G League. You know what I mean? He's gonna win that nomination. And everybody's just going to fucking bow down on him. And you know what's crazy? Is that I think he's going to win the presidency if he's not in jail. He might literally be on trial to go to jail and win the presidency. I mean, he might be not like impeached again, but like taken to prison. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, or just, I mean, he's getting more and more unhinged, and I mean, the content is just gonna be S tier. And I think all the like late night hosts and all the like crazy Democrats in Hollywood are secretly hoping for it. Because, I mean, dude, do you know how much time I have to put into preparing these episodes, like producing out these podcast episodes? I'm gonna have content every week just delivered on a silver platter to me. You understand? It's a cheat code. This guy. So anyway, I'm not saying I'm voting for him, but because of course I would never vote for him, but Joe Biden does suck. In more old white guy political news, Mitch McConnell is just having a stroke every presser that he does. The guy is just literally on his deathbed. It's just time to hang it up, man. Don't subject me to watch you die on camera. Like, it's a really tough watch. And the thing that everybody's saying around this stuff is like, we need to have age limits in Congress. We need to have age limits in Congress. To which I would say, yeah, we should, right? We can all agree on that. I mean, dude, just retire. Now, I don't want to wish ill on anybody, but this guy, I'm not going to get into it. He's a piece of shit, right? And we don't want to watch him die on camera, but just retire and go fuck off for the rest of your life, and America will be a better place, you know? So, okay. Anyway, all right. That's enough on politics. Jesus Christ, it's exhausting, right? Our main topic is a really spicy one, and it's regarding AI, which we talk about a lot because it is the future of everything. And we're going to talk about copyright and how it pertains to artificial intelligence and the world of music and film and things of that nature, because there was a big court ruling that happened this week. But first, we're going to travel back to 2011. Travel back in time to 2011. That's the time travel music, in case you're wondering, from the 80s. Okay, in 2011, photographer David Slater, who was a nature photographer, left his camera equipment in the wild in Indonesia for macaques, I think is how you say it. Probably not, so I'll probably not put this in the clip. Monkeys, a very endangered, rare species of monkey. So David Slater left his equipment and set it up and shit to capture unique, candid photos of monkeys in the wild in Indonesia. Now, what transpired when this happened is something that is one of the most famous moments in photograph history. One of the monkeys, his name is Naruto, actually took a selfie with the camera. So you've probably seen the photo. I'll put it in the clip and on my YouTube and shit. But this monkey, Naruto, took a selfie with the camera, and it became instantly one of the most famous photographs ever. It was everywhere. Everybody was posting it. And initially, this was great for David Slater. It's like, oh, cool, all this great exposure. Well, the saga began when all these huge websites like TechDirt and Wikipedia and all these major publications began using his images without permission. So they started posting this photo without clearing it and paying David Slater. So David Slater requested that the websites take the image down or pay him. Well, Wikipedia contended that the monkey should hold the copyright, since it was the actual creator of the image. Which raised the question, can non-human entities claim copyrights for their creations? And thus began this massive windfall court case that went on and on and on. And so, okay, I think first it's important we look at the Copyright Act. Now, obviously, I work in music, so I'm very versed in copyright, and I think everybody who's a creative should learn about copyright. But one of the central basis of copyright, copyright applies to original works of authorship fixed in a tangible medium of expression now or later developed. That's the definition, right? It then says, as a general rule, the author is the party who actually creates the work. Copyright ownership vests initially in the author or author of the works. So by definition, the monkey is the author of the work. The monkey took the selfie. So the monkey technically owns the copyright. But there's nothing in copyright law that clarifies if this applies to non-humans. It's talking about humans, obviously, right? So PETA sued on behalf of the monkey because of course it did. In the most PETA fucking move ever, PETA launched a lawsuit on behalf of the monkey, arguing that it deserved ownership. Well, the U.S. Copyright Office weighed in, asserting that animals cannot own copyrights because fucking obviously, who's gonna collect? Where are we paying for the photo? Hey, Naruto, can you sign this document and give us your routing and bank account info so we can wire you the money? No fucking shit. So PETA took the case to court again, and it was denied again. And David Slater, additionally, also, while this is all happening, he's fighting for his right. And he's saying, because I set up the equipment and I curated this photo shoot, even though I didn't take the photo, I'm obviously the author. Like, I'm responsible for the input of this output. I'm the one that curated it and put it together. Well, he lost. And the courts ruled that nobody owns it. So, why do I bring up this case? Well, because David Slater was a martyr. He lost this case, and it's heartbreaking. But it highlights the complex legal intersection between technology, creativity, and non-human entities. And it paves the way for cases regarding copyright surrounding AI. So this past week, a judge in Washington declared that AI art cannot be copyrighted. District Judge Beryl Howell upheld the Copyright Office's denial, emphasizing that U.S. copyright law protects only works of human creation. She stressed, human creativity is a core element of copyrightability, even when expressed through new tools or media. So, let's compare the two, yeah? If you can't put this comparison together on your own, allow me to paint it out for you. So, similarly to how David Slater set up the input for this photo shoot with the equipment and the camera and and he fucking set it up, and he had to pay for all the equipment, and he flew out to Indonesia, and he did all the shit. Even though he did all that and curated it, the actual capturing of the media was not done by him. So similarly with AI, even though I'm a professional musician that has been doing this for over 10 years, and I had to buy the software, and I had to use the technology, and I gave all the inputs of what I want from the AI work. If the final image is generated by AI, I don't own it. I don't own it. Does the AI own it? No, nobody owns it. It's public domain, essentially. So, you know, a lot of it, like, you got to look at copyright, I think, for starters, because this is a very loaded issue. What's the purpose of copyright? Like, why do we have copyright? The purpose of copyright is simple. It's to incentivize creative output. Because, you know, the whole reason they created copyright law was to foster creativity and incentivize people to want to make shit. If I don't own the art that I make and I can't actually monetize the IP that I've created or the works that I've created, then it's kind of hard to motivate people to create art in capitalism. So this whole argument can be made that people may be discouraged from using AI technology because they won't be protected. Right? So that's one side of the coin. Now, the other side of the coin is the obvious side of the coin, which is this is great news for creatives. You know, if you look at the WGA strike right now, that's been going on for over 100 days. You know, the writers are striking, obviously, because the wages are dog shit, which we've talked about on streaming services, but they're also striking for AI protection, because what writers are worried about, which is another thing that musicians are worried about, which is another thing that actors are worried about, and artists are worried about, digital artists, like my father, who's an incredible artist, the fear is if we can just use AI to replace us, then the studios and the record labels and the art studios and the advertisers, they don't need artists. They can just use AI once it gets good enough. Well, per this ruling, probably not. Because if we know one thing about major studios and record labels and all the powers that be, they're not going to create art that they don't own. You think they're going to sink $400 million into a Marvel AI-generated script movie if they don't own it? Fuck no. No shot. So in a way, well, not really in a way, in the main way, this is great news for creatives because it allows using the technology, but not as the main thing. You can't just use the technology, right? So my question was, as somebody who works with AI all the time and who plans on making AI a part of his work regimen when creating music and producing works, is if I use AI to help me create original works, like for example, if I use generative music to create a loop as a song starter, you know, if I go into like Google LM once it's good enough and I'm like, you know, a dark synthy, you know, in F minor, 115 BPM loop, whatever, you know, and it generates me 7 different loops. And then I find one that I like and I grab that loop to use as a starter to make a song around. Do I then not own that? Do I not own the music anymore? Do I not own the song that I make off of that? And the answer is no, I still own it. So the U.S. Copyright Office clarified in March, turns out, that most AI-generated works are not copyrightable. However, AI-assisted materials can qualify for protection if a human creatively selects or arranges them. So, that's great news. That essentially means that I can, not just me, but creatives can use AI as a tool, which I've been preaching since the beginning of this podcast and since I've been talking about this shit. They can use it as a tool for creative output and curation in accompaniment with actual creation of art to curate. And that is the greatest single use case of AI. And it will continue to be. And these copyright rulings really determine that, right? So, amazing news. And I think this means that we are going to start getting closer to an understanding of the technology, right? Because the initial bumps in the road are us just navigating definitions in the legal framework. And as soon as we start getting these things in place, the creative industry can really start evolving. It's kind of like when Napster and LimeWire came out in music, there was this period for like a few years where it was just like absolute fucking chaos. I talk about it in my mixtape era episode. It just, nobody knew what was going on. And we're still in that, and we're going to be in that for a little bit of time. But as these legal cases begin to, come out with new rulings and more definitions and understandings, and those rulings will evolve, obviously, as things continue to advance. But it's a good thing. So, all right, now I'm going to have a sip of water, and we're going to fucking laugh our ass off, okay? You ready, everybody? Give me a second. This break brought to you by insert sponsor here. Guys, hey, look. I see all these a lot of podcasts I listen to have sponsors and ads from like Blue Chew, which is like a erectile dysfunction medication, and like FanDuel sports betting apps, and fucking Manscaped and whatever the fuck else. I say all that to say that I'm down to sell out for any of that stuff. So my goal here in a few episodes, I'll be doing Viagra ads in between segments, and we can look forward to that, yeah? Okay, great. Now, we're going to end our show with everybody's favorite segment, which is the FOHHOF, the Fuck Outta Here Hall of Fame. And this week's inductee into the FOHHOF is anybody that goes to Burning Man. Ever. What is Burning Man? If you don't know what Burning Man is, it's an annual week-long event in Black Rock Desert, Nevada. And it is literally in the middle of the fucking desert. It's in a just vast, giant desert. Like nothing as far as the eye can see. And what happens is it features a temporary city called Black Rock City in the middle of the desert, in which a bunch of people, participants, known as burners, come together to meet in the middle of the desert and build out a city from essentially scratch. They build art installations and celebrate their skills, and they use generators, and they literally build a self-resilient, inclusive city that relies on radical self-reliance. And at the end of the festival, the reason it's called Burning Man is at the end of the festival, they burn a large wooden effigy called the Man. It's this giant wooden man, and they fucking light it on fire, and they all dance around it like they're in a fucking satanic cult, right? Okay? And I'm sure you've seen it. They say like it's a hippie festival. Burning Man is really just for rich white people who have lived comfortably their whole lives to go pretend to struggle for a week and seek enlightenment. Look, if Look, you want to start a mega profitable enterprise? Figure out a way to scam rich white people and gaslight them into paying you thousands to face hardships to seek enlightenment. It's the greatest business model ever. One day, I aspire to create some kind of thing like this and just roll in it, dude. Just roll in it. You couldn't pay me enough money to go to this fucking festival. First of all, I'm not a big festival guy anyway, but holy shit, dude. It looks like Mad Max. Like it's it's in the middle of the desert and there's just dust storms everywhere all the time every day. Everyone smells fucking terrible. There's no showers, obviously. I mean, there's, I'm sure, water. But everyone just looks like they smell horrible. They're covered in dust and dirt. And there's just like porta potties. And it's hot as fuck because you're in the desert. Just Tasmanian devil, dust storms everywhere. Just people are walking around like fucking... We're here at Burning Man. Like, it's just like, why would you ever go to that? Okay, so this year at Burning Man, it's pouring rain. I'm going to play a video. Let me play this video that I just saw. I literally saw this on the way here. This is an impromptu segment, but I obviously saved this video. Here we go.
All right, situation critical.
Oh my God.
Like my shoes?
Oh my God. Dude. Gross, dude. Dude, white people love being barefoot in the dirt.
Oh my God.
I mean, welcome to Drowning Man. Dude, that is hell to me. That's the worst thing I could ever imagine being at in my life. It was declared a national disaster. The National Guard has been mobilized. And right now, as I record this podcast, 75,000 people are stranded in a puddle in the middle of the desert with limited resources. And do you know what I have to say about that? Leave them there. Leave them there. You want to be a survivalist? You want to go build a self-sustaining city? Good luck. Have fun. Enjoy trench foot, ringworm, and pneumonia. You signed up for it. Dude, the National Guard's going out there? Why? It's a self-sustaining city. They don't need your help. Go ahead and swim out of it. You guys have the forecasts. You knew it was going to pour rain. They knew this was going to happen, and you still went out there anyway. There's electrical wires everywhere. There's just generators and wires dug into the fucking ground, just immersed in water. These motherfuckers are going to be getting electrocuted. Like, I mean, you talk about a life-changing experience, huh? Talk about enlightenment. This makes Fyre Festival look like Coachella. Oh, speaking of which, did you guys see that Fyre Festival 2 is coming? Did you see that Billy McFarland, who gave us the absolute gem that was Fyre Festival, is launching the sequel? Okay, look at this. So Billy McFarland just dropped this. He just dropped this hot bomb on TikTok yesterday, announcing Fyre Festival 2. This fucking jamoke. Here it is.
What's up, guys? This is a big day because as of right now, Fyre Festival 2 tickets are officially on sale. It has been the absolute wildest journey to get here, and it really all started during the 7th-month stint in solitary confinement. I wrote out this
It's been the absolute wildest journey to get here. And it actually started when I was in solitary confinement for 7 months, and I wrote the business plan. Dude, and the guy's doing the video in a bathrobe, you know? Like he's like the lap of luxury. Here I am in my on probation still with an ankle monitor on. Come to Fyre Festival 2. Hold on, we're not done.
Plan of how it would take this overall interest and demand in Fyre, and how it would take my ability to bring people from around the world together to make the impossible happen, but how it would find the best partners in the world to allow me to be me while executing Fyre's vision to the highest level.
Dude, he's still doing the entrepreneur voice. Like, he's still doing the grifter voice. Buddy, you got dragged through the street like Cersei Lannister already. We already know what you are. You're a fraud, okay? You can cut the act with this. We're going to be executing Fyre's vision to the utmost level, finding investors and partners. Dude, drop it. We know.
In my first year, I partnered with one of the biggest and best TV companies in the world to produce a documentary called After the Fyre. I've also worked with one of the biggest production companies to sign a deal to produce Fyre Festival, the Broadway musical.
Fyre Festival, the Broadway musical? What the fuck? Starring Lin-Manuel Miranda. I got his fucking name wrong. Hold on. Starring Lin-Manuel Miranda in After the Fyre, the Broadway musical. What the fuck, dude? Who would go watch Fyre Festival, the musical? We are stranded in the Caribbean with Kraft single cheese on bread for food. What the fuck is... Dude, Fyre Festival 2. You know what's going to be the funniest part about this? It's going to be fucking sold out. It's going to work. You know it's going to work. I mean, think about it. Okay, so he's doing this December 2024. That's when Fyre Festival 2 is going to be. I guarantee you it's sold out the first day that tickets go live. You think I'm fucking kidding? Come back and watch this clip in a year. I swear to God, it's going to be sold out. Because think of the content. Do you know how many content creators are going to go there to get Fyre Festival 2 content? Do you know how many people are going to probably put up money to go? This thing could ironically become a huge festival. I'm not kidding. I won't be going because I hate festivals, but it would be incredible content. Even if it's a fucking disaster. Almost better if it's a disaster. Look at Burning Man right now. Dude, there are rich white people dying to go to a piece of shit festival to struggle and live on the land. Dude, he could ironically overthrow Burning Man with just uppity, douchey content creators. I'm not even kidding. This is like Ocean Gate 2. Fyre Festival 2 is like Ocean Gate 2. And the thing is, there will be an Ocean Gate 2. I predicted this on a previous episode. It's just like Everest, dude. It's just like when all the rich people started going to Everest and dying. It made rich people want to go to Everest more and climb Everest more. And every year, more and more unequipped rich people go to Mount Everest to climb it and die. The same thing's going to happen to Ocean Gate, and the same thing is going to happen at Fyre Festival. And these motherfuckers are going to line up to do it. And if you want proof, just look at Burning Man right now. I guarantee you next year it's going to be 100x the fucking people that are going to go. Oh my God. We are so unequivocally fucked. Guys, I want to thank you for listening to this week's episode of Good Luck. I'm going to Thailand in 2 weeks, like a week and a half. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way. I'm gonna probably cram. I'm gonna record like 2 or 3 episodes maybe in like 2 days. I'll probably have some guests. We'll talk about some fun stuff. I know a lot of stuff I do on these shows are current events, so those episodes might not be as much. Maybe it'll be more like last week, where I was talking about the Max Martin stuff, more industry stuff. Big guests and fun information and education and stories and shit like that. Anyway, I'm just foretelling the future here. Again, guys, thank you for listening to Good Luck this week. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, again, give me a good review. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment, do all that good shit. And I want to thank you. Good night and good luck.
Good night and good luck. You smile and say goodbye to me, but I don't give a fuck. You hop in the Uber, off to your future. Good night and good luck. You try to play your cards with me, but I'm calling your bluff. Cause it wasn't enough. Night and good luck.